Hola, and welcome to A Star Trek to Steer Her By, a Star Podcast.
A Starcast.
A Starcast. Oh, we should call it a Starcast.
Oh, no.
Welcome to A Starcast Star Trek.
To steer her by.
A Starcast. We are your hosts. My name is Jake.
This is Chris.
This is Ames.
And this is Caitlin.
Welcome back, Caitlin. You know, you cannot say this is always Caitlin again, because last time
It was
wasn't.
a Liz.
It wasn't Caitlin.
But I'm always Caitlin.
You are always Caitlin, and we're happy to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Anyway, so today on the show, we're going to be talking about 2 Star Trek The Next Generation episodes. Season 2, episode 19. Oh, what episode are we? We're 78.
Woo!
There you go. That's what we needed. Season 2, episode 19, Manhunt. Manhunt. I mean, really, we got wedding bells in the air this week, don't we?
Wedding bells in the air.
Yeah, we get something in the
Who
air.
threw them?
Well, evidently,
Wasn't even funny.
It was Worf and Loxana Troy, independently of each other. So, yeah,
I
so...
thought Pulaski was going to get on it, too, but she didn't.
Well...
She was like, really? Your father was human and your mother was Betazoid. She, looked at Worf like, you can make this work out.
So, in Manhunt, we're on our way to the planet Pacifica, also known as Paxson. Purveyors of fine basketball shorts.
I feel like I used to buy hoodies from there.
They had all kinds of urban streetwear stuff. So anyway, we're on our way to Pacifica to a conference. We have to beam up some fishmen that just heavy breathers. That's really all there is to these guys, and they eat some kind of fish in a tub. They beam up and they're catatonic because they don't like to space travel. They get space sick. So they're going to be catatonic for the whole trip, except not. And then we find out that there's a Federation shuttle approaching, and the shuttle hails them, and there's a guy, and he's like, I'm going to do my job. And then this woman barges in, and it's Loxana Troy and her stupid black eyes. And she's all, she's got a hunger.
She's hungry like the wolf.
Yeah, she's looking for little Picard's chrome dome.
Man meat.
So she beams over, and indeed, she's all reading Picard's mind and telling everybody about his thoughts about the fisting and everything. And then we go about the episode. It turns out that she's going through menopause, which for Betazoid women basically means they're major horn dogs. And she
quadruples their sex drive.
Or more. You didn't tell me that.
I didn't want to scare you, or what she said.
And she's... So basically the whole episode is Picard trying not to...
Fist Loxana Troy.
Not to get fisted by Loxana Troy, honestly. There's some humorous moments, but...
Mr. Holm is great.
But for the most part, it's pretty goddamn tedious.
Mm-hmm.
We go into Dixon Hill world on the holodeck for a bit, and that's uneventful.
Yeah.
And not even interesting, either.
No.
And then the big twist in the last 30 seconds of the episode, the fishmen delegates were assassins the entire time.
What?
Because their cloaks were lined with explosives.
That no one noticed.
No one noticed.
Even
because they're difficult to detect with the
almost
transporter.
Impossible to detect.
With the transporter.
Except then they looked for it and found it.
Well, it's just not one of the things they scan for.
Okay, but I'm just saying, I would think that any kind of explosive would be the kind of thing you would want to be looking for.
Yeah.
Transport.
And Pulaski scanned them, every which way but loose.
Well, she was scanning their intestines and stuff to make sure they had eaten a full meal.
Of fish heads.
Yeah, they're full of fish poop. They've eaten.
Yeah, they didn't, she didn't have her tricorder set to bomb-sniffing dog. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
that's what every starship needs. Just a wee dog in a little uniform.
With a triceratops head.
Yes.
Sure. End of the day, Picard does not marry Loxana Troy.
Shockingly.
Neither does Wesley, Worf, Geordi, Riker, or the holodeck
She
guy.
didn't ask Data. Data might be able to actually please her.
It's true.
Oh my god.
I mean, he's a machine. That's really when Data was like, well, Captain, perhaps I should stay and entertain our guests longer. Mm-hmm. That's what he was talking about.
He was talking about giving her the D?
Data's like, I'll do Picard a solid by doing Walks on a Troy a solid.
People are walking by like, why is there jackhammering coming from that room?
Ooh. All right, well, that's enough of that shithole. Next
Data's
episode.
Walks on a Troy.
Oh no!
The next episode we'll be talking about is the Emissary. The Enterprise is going about their business, and they find a torpedo or of some sort.
It's a probe.
Probe, and they open it up, and there's a sexy lady in it.
I mean, Starfleet sent them at the probe.
Well, yeah.
In a confusing, as Starfleet usually does, manner.
We're not telling you shit! Pick it up!
We're Vulcans now!
Admiral out!
Well, speaking of we're Vulcans now is now Klingons, as Salar is now Kalar.
True.
They didn't even change her name that much.
No, they changed the first letter,
I didn't
basically.
even catch that shit. That's wonderful.
So Salar from Schizoid Man has
Who is also
the
hot.
same actress, we should say, is now...
She wasn't great in Schizoid Man. I liked
She
her in
wasn't
this,
great,
though.
but she was still sexy.
She is now playing Kalar, an old flame of one young Worf. She's only half Klingon, only the parts that matter.
Yeah, and the other half of her is fucking run fast away. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's a good joke for not Klingon, but...
So we find out, of course, that Klingons have been... there's a sleeper ship of Klingons from years past.
On the tongue.
On the Tong, with an unnecessary apostrophe, I'm sure.
Oh, well, certainly.
Actually, there's an apostrophe between every letter, and at the end of the G. Jake, are you having a stroke?
Yes. So they're from the Tong.
Worf had a stroke.
And the Tong is it's a sleeper ship that was sent on a mission to blow up Federation ships, and now they've woken up, or they're going to wake up soon. And Kalar is basically there. She's a special emissary from Klingon, and she's like, hey, listen, we got to find these Klingons. We got to give them the old Vulcan hello and get the fuck out. And Picard's like, oh, that's not acceptable. We have to try to reason with them. And she's like, you can't reason with Klingons. They're fucking assholes. I should know. I'm one of them.
Half.
And then...
You're not going to like me when I'm angry.
So anyway, there's a lot of sexual tension. Worf...
Troy sensed the tension.
Dude,
it's true.
Troy was the tension. I wanted the two of them to fucking get down to Bone Town so bad.
But anyways, there's clearly been some past relationship with Worf. He's not too happy about it. He's going all Worfy about it. She just wants to get her bang on. They eventually do, and then Worf takes that the wrong way, and she's like, I just wanted to get fucked. And Worf is like, well, we're married now, so... She's like, no, Worf, I don't want to marry you. And then they finally, the way they solve their problem with the Klingons is Worf and Kalar dress in Klingon outfits and tell the Klingons a big lie that Worf is the captain of the Enterprise and that, they need to stand down, and they do. And then they leave, and they have a touching moment in the transporter room.
Touching.
And,
Literally.
And then they go their separate ways.
But no hand sniffing this time.
No hand sniffing.
Also, it's good to know that Klingons don't bluff. Apparently just the same way that Vulcans don't lie.
That's true.
Well, we'll get to the proper episode in a second, but Kalar is only half Klingon, and Worf was mostly raised by humans.
And?
Yeah.
So they can,
So they can bluff and lie. And...
Spock is half human.
Yeah, but we've seen full Vulcans. Vulcans just lie.
Yeah, Vulcans are big.
Well,
big, fat
then
liars.
the argument is it's not even a necessary argument. It's probably just that Klingons lie about not bluffing. Klingons
And I've
bluff
gone
about
cross-eyed.
not bluffing.
All right.
So let's start with Manhunt to get through this piece of shit.
Yeah, Manhunt. Fuck.
Man.
Like, nothing happened.
My major question was, why put this in a sci-fi show? This
Why?
could be any fucking show.
My major question was just why.
Yeah,
That's a good question, too.
Like,
Because
they could have
Majel
just...
wanted to.
Followed up by, God, why?
They could have just not made this episode and used the money they saved to make something other than Shades of Grey.
They could have not made this episode.
The end.
Yeah.
And made a better one?
Yeah, this was Tracy Torme's last episode in the series.
What a shame
And
to
he
go
used
out on.
he used a pseudonym because he was protesting all the script revisions.
What's a Tracy?
He was one of the writers.
What else did he write?
Oh,
Bunch
a
of
bunch
shit.
of them.
He
Good or
wrote,
bad?
like the
A
original
mix.
Dixon Hill episode, among other things.
He was one of the.
So he likes to slide his dicks in, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. So really, this is. Yeah, I don't know what this was. It was clearly an attempt to be comedy. But,
Boy, did they
I'm
fail.
sorry, it was comedy?
I mean,
What was funny?
it was supposed to be.
Mr. Holm was funny. I love him.
Yeah, he's fine.
Who?
The tall lurch.
Oh, yeah, the fucking...
When he downs
The
the
Romulan ale.
Romulan ale.
Yeah.
And also anything left in their glasses when they've left.
That's so weird. What's wrong? Is she not feeding him? Like, what?
He's a drunk.
Also, why doesn't she just fuck him?
I bet she does.
He's probably hung like a fucking something with a big dick.
Tapir.
That's straight. He's got 3 legs.
Well, apparently he thinks a lot of nasty thoughts.
I don't trust a word that woman says.
And the thing is, I think she might be onto something. Because I can only imagine that there are remnants of these thoughts in Picard. I don't think she's a liar. I think she may be embellishing. But I think either the thoughts were put there, maybe, or she's found them. Because she found them in Riker, she found them in Picard.
She found Riker thoughts?
Yeah.
When did that?
When he was gonna marry her?
Oh. Ooh.
I mean, the thing is, I believe maybe Riker, because he is just,
Wants to fuck
horny
everyone.
as
He's like,
hell.
over 4 times as horny, eh? He was really into that.
Yeah, he liked that a lot.
But, I don't know. I mean, I just genuinely think Picard's not into her, man.
I mean, I don't know.
Not
I think
wanting
Picard's...
to marry her isn't the same as not being into her.
But I also just think, I don't know, she's just so...
Major Barrett.
You
She's
can
just
also...
so too much, and he's reserved as fuck.
Yeah,
You
but
can also not be into someone and still have the invasive thought of, I'd like to bang them.
I guess.
they
like
are
that
attractive. Her
Yeah.
breasts are really
Like,
showing a lot in that dress.
I wonder if she shaves, that kind of thought.
Well, Jake, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to let you know. I'm just kidding.
I wonder what her
Sorry,
butthole
Ace.
smells like. I wonder if all her eyes are black.
In all seriousness, though, that bitch fucks. She probably gets her butthole bleached.
Yeah, probably.
Let's be real.
Jake only laughs at his own jokes.
That was a good joke.
Because he's the only one on this fucking show that's funny.
Whoa.
He's very happy to have his audience
being
back.
fair, I include myself in the not being funny.
I'm the least funny one. I just make the most poop jokes.
I'd like to think that in the future, tuchus bleaching is much easier.
Yeah, there's actually a phaser setting. Oh my god, I wonder if you could set it for is it like one of those as seen on TV things where it does everything? It's kill a guy, stun a guy, trim a heart into your pubic hair.
There you go.
Actually, that would
Julienne's fries, etc.
That would be really funny if actually, because we saw Geordi using his razor one day. Maybe the normal thing to do is just set your phaser to its lowest setting and just shoot yourself in the face. There we go.
That's an accident waiting to happen.
Set your phaser to goatee.
I don't imagine they've come up with something better than toilet paper by this time, too.
Oh, they get the 3 seashells, just like Demolition Man.
Well, that, or
3
they have
What is that again?
That's a joke from a movie.
Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
No.
Oh, it's delightfully absurd, but instead of toilet paper, they have the 3 seashells. It's never explained how they work. That's part of the gag.
It's it's the most Verhoeven movie that's not made by Verhoeven.
Yeah. So, some actual thoughts on the episode.
This is bad. This is bad. This is worse.
So-
this is bad.
Picard goes to greet the fishmen, right?
The something, Antidians.
The
Can we just call them
Antidians.
fish sticks?
We can call them fish sticks. I thought they looked like a freezer-burned Oscar the Grouch.
See, at first, I didn't even notice that they had eyes
Oh, yeah.
on their head, so I was just looking at them where is any of the anatomy? I see a facey thing, sort of. I was so confused by them.
So here's my problem with them.
Everything.
Yes, basically. Because they're beamed aboard in this fucking catatonic state.
And yet we still have to dress up and greet them.
Well, that's it. So Picard knew they were coming in catatonic.
Yeah, they knew, they did their homework on what these things are.
So why was he in full dress?
Yep.
And even if it was just for the sake of ceremony, then shouldn't he have made everyone else be in full dress? But only he was, so that was weird.
He just likes doing that. He likes wearing those tights.
Mm-hmm. They stored them in the
They make his
transporter
legs look
room
so
Right.
handsome.
as if they hadn't planned to have a guest quarter for them.
Yeah, like they had to prep a room for it. It was like, why wasn't this already ready? Again, you weren't apparently surprised by the fact that they weren't conscious.
It was only so Solo walks on and would run into them.
Yes, and so fucking Worf could keep having a boner for them.
Yeah.
He was so impressed
What a
by them.
handsome race.
And then, like you said, Ames, completely unearned just so they could try to justify the existence of the episode. Oh, yeah, also I guess they're terrorists?
Yeah,
Alright,
that
bye.
was so stupid. It was like the most throwaway thing. And I actually at first thought that she was going to be wrong because didn't Troy say that like her telepathy shit is actually less correct while she's in
I don't remember, to be
I don't
honest.
remember that.
Betazoidopause?
I thought she was like notably good at telepathing.
Well, that's what she said, but then I thought she said except at this time or
I don't remember that.
something like that.
You could be right.
I may have made it up. Do you remember if that was
don't
said?
remember.
Oh fuck
I
me.
think I
Can
remember
I-
Oh, no, no, I think
saying that
the-
animals are best when they're being hunted.
Or hunting.
Oh.
No, I think when Troy said that she went the except this time must have meant like except obviously Picard's not into her. So
okay,
maybe unless
okay.
Picard is lying.
Yeah, no, okay, all right. I thought she meant that it like fucked because it's hormonal and emotional and it would be anyway. Okay, so I thought I went to the wrong. Yeah, you're right. I think I just like read it wrong.
But yeah, the fishmen may have been the most pointless aspect of this pointless episode.
Why didn't
which
they
is
just
saying
ship them in
something.
a? They should have just shipped them in like a big anchovy tin.
That would have been amazing.
Well, did it also not appear because the food that they ate looked like
just their
Like,
babies?
it looked like herring or something. Like it did not look like.
I mean, a
Well,
lot of
Well, they're big, so maybe that's the size of plankton-esque shit.
But yeah, I mean, in the ocean, predator fish just eat smaller fish.
Yeah, but I'm assuming it's them. That's
Yeah, no, I also think it's funny it's some of their spawn.
Oh,
I did read that Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac played one of them.
What?
Oh, there you
What
go.
a waste of Fleetwood Mac!
Yeah, you can't recognize which one he is.
How stupid.
Also, Worf unnecessarily dips his hands into the vat of fish.
Oh, yeah.
when
I
they
see
open it up.
Worf doing
he secretly
that.
wanted to taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause
Looks like,
maybe if I eat some, I'll look like them.
He loves them.
I liked Wesley being like, "You're pretty handsome for a Klingon." Oh, that didn't come out right. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Oh, he knows I love him.
Wesley being all racist again.
Yeah.
little fuck.
God
Jerk.
damn, Wesley
And if they
first.
say racism isn't inborn, so like, where did he learn that?
His mother.
Picard.
Mm.
Oh, his mother. That could be it. Yeah.
Yeah, his mother hates Klingons.
Does she?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Did they kill her husband? By which I mean Jean-Luc Picard killed her husband.
Yeah. What else? Oh, this is also there's another guest appearance briefly. Robert O'Reilly, who will later go on to play Gowron.
Oh shit, he was in this?
Shows up in the holodeck as one of the goons.
Oh yeah, he was.
Oh my God, was he the one with the crazy eyes?
Of course, he was on the crazy eyes.
Because Gowron has crazy
Fuck
eyes.
me!
Anybody
That's
with crazy
amazing.
eyes on Star Trek, there's like an 89% chance.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Gowron.
I didn't notice the crazy eyes.
It's the guy that like grabs him by the lapels and like tilts and is like, "Ah, Dixon!" ah."
the heavier guy, or
No, lanky fella, quite tall.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, he'll be a semi-regular Klingon later.
Yeah. The first time that character appears is also another episode with Kaylar.
Oh.
Kaylar's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited. She's so hot. Okay, sorry. Can we just get on to that episode? Because that
Soon.
was so hot. Well, this episode, what did I think happened? Did anything happen that I thought was interesting?
I'll say...
Nope, fresh out.
No, already done.
What I'm somewhat disappointed by is there was no scene with her macking on Geordi.
Who?
Jordy wasn't in this episode.
No, but it's weird because they set it up
talking
like
about
he
Majel
was...
Barrett?
Yeah.
What's her
She's-
name? Luoxana?
Well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah.
Luoxana, I think.
Luoxana?
I think that's how
But
you say
she even specifically says, like, they set it up. I think she, like, I don't think she says his name. I think she, like, gestures
it.
over her face to be like,
Mr. Holm did this.
oh, he
Like,
did it.
like,
Right.
Yeah, he
Covered his
signified
eye.
the visor.
So they made it seem like there was going to be a scene with her macking on Geordi, but then there wasn't.
Jordy would be so awkward about it too.
Yeah, Jordy's
He'd probably be
terrible with
into it.
women.
He'd probably be
When-
into it, though.
When Luoxana's hitting on Worf, Worf's response is, "I am not a man." What? What?
He's
what
a-
does he mean?
he's a Klingon.
Not a
does he
human
mean?
man.
He doesn't mean a human.
That's
Yeah.
what he meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought.
a terrible way to word that. It's very confusing.
Maybe he doesn't want to be,
Did you
shoehorned into the gender
play with
paradigm.
ships and bottles as a
Also,
boy?
as we've learned, once they fuck, Klingons are mated, and he wasn't mating
But that's
her.
what she was going for, so it really...
I know, so he
perfect.
really wouldn't know.
Out of honor, he would have had to.
He wasn't into her.
I don't know, he seemed a little into her. Because we already know
He's
he likes
already into
older
Pulaski.
ladies, but we know he's into... I know. I want them to
Yes.
bone also. This is, honestly, writing this fan fiction at some point is going to be the greatest fan fiction. Because I will actually
No matter
write...
what characters you get, it'll be Pulaski and Worf bone.
I will finally write the ball-slapping porn we all deserve.
I also, this episode is so ridiculous and over the top and stupid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of half expecting them, as Wakasana sits down to mac on the holodeck bartender. I was half expecting them to, cut to the outside of the ship and then just hear her go, "What?"
That'd be very, Disney villain of them.
Yeah, but they did not do
I
that.
have a question. If Klingons have 2 dicks, they got 4 balls.
That's not necessarily true.
How many balls do you think they got?
And as many as they need.
It's important. I need to know.
7.
For research. 7.
They actually just have one really big one with ridges.
I'm
Yeah.
picturing, 2 dicks, kind of side by side, with, boop, 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 little balls, just in a nice...
Or like one
I
like
figure
a
it looks like
Newton's
a
cradle.
tuning fork.
That's a Newton's cradle! Oh my god, I wish that was real! That's my canon.
So wait,
Worf
you're-
has a Newton's cradle in his pants, and he's happy to see me.
So your suggestion, Ames, is that they start off with the same but then split.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That was my
the-
assumption.
Like the diphylactyl, whatever there's a guy who actually has 2 dicks, and his dicks sort of do that.
Split off from each other.
From each well, probably, but you can't see it, right? Because the penis actually ends below the surface. What you
Sure.
think of as your penis goes deeper, than you can see.
Oh, it goes deep, alright.
Still better than anything
What-
from this episode.
What do Jake's balls smell like?
Cinnamon. Why would the holodeck scenes seemed
Pointless?
pointless, and also holodeck psychology isn't working anymore. It used to be so good at reading what Picard wanted.
I expected, because of how much violence was being suggested at him, that the whole point of the episode was going to be that it was a typical holodeck breaking down episode. I sort of was kind of oh, well, if he's in a broken holodeck, why did we have to have that awkward dinner with Loxana? Also, I don't know what they were eating, but I wanted to eat it. It was really pretty, and I really liked the chimes.
It was, what was it? It was, tossed salad or scrambled egg.
Yay.
You're gonna get...
Dessert looked like a fruit salad
It
and
looked-
scrambled egg.
But it looked like fruit salad, but
looked like
made in
salad to me.
translucent
No, there were
dumplings
two
or something.
Oh.
It looked to me like dim sum, but with really brightly colored insides that you could see. And that is my aesthetic. I would like to eat that.
What was the deal with their stupid space forks?
I noticed that
because
too.
space.
At first I thought they were chopsticks, and then I was like, no, they're just weird they're oversized shrimp
because
forks.
future.
Yeah.
I was noticing more and more of the
They're actually Klingon
aesthetics
forks.
of the Loaxana's quarters. The chairs were a nice shape, and the table, it was the same table that Kalar eventually breaks. But
Actually, I have a note about that.
what?
Oh, I was going to wait till we got to that part, but since we're talking about the table now, I might as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to point out a continuity error.
Okay.
When the glass table is seen in both this episode and in Emissary,
The
before Kalar breaks it, the glass is clearly at least 1 inch thick.
Oh, and
However,
they swapped out the surface?
After it's broken, the shards are seen to be no more than 1/4 inch thick.
Maybe,
By
maybe
my
she
estimation.
She split it laterally as well when she popped it.
I doubt that. I think they switched the table. I don't think she actually broke that giant-ass glass table.
I'm sure
And why
that
are
giant...
they making tables out of glass
Instead of
anyway?
transparent aluminum, I was
Yeah.
wondering the same thing.
Oh, that's a good
Or
point.
plexiglass, or
Because
any
they
other
kept-
material.
Because they kept getting sued because people kept trying to break the glass table and breaking their hands instead, and so they were just like, well, we gotta fix this.
Anyway, I did
having
notice that it bothered
breakables-
me a lot.
Breakables on the ship always like bothers me. Like, you know, the
Picard was
Loaxana has
fucking
a million
teacups.
glasses, and Sulu's got his teacup that breaks, and Riley's got his glass that breaks. It's
When
like, guys,
the fucking... What was it? The second level of engineering around the warp core, as we discover, is easily
with
shattered
those glass plate floors. What are we doing?
Like, guys, come on.
Well, the transporter floor is clearly like plexiglass or something.
Yeah.
Because every time they step on it, it warps and causes weird reflections.
The 1980s version of lens flare.
Nice.
But yeah, I just this episode.
yeah,
It was
it was a lot of
literally
nothing.
pointless.
It was so much nothing. Loaxana has never seen on a holodeck before.
Apparently not.
She's too busy getting dick constantly.
Mm.
She doesn't need a holodeck for
Yeah,
dick.
and I like how they had to like set that up with her when she first comes in. She's like, "Oh, Jean-Luc, you left this part of the ship so filthy." It's like, Loaxana, you've been on this ship. You've been on many ships, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Have you ever walked onto a ship that you had to walk through a outdoor city street?
Yeah.
And didn't think, well, this is strange.
She probably just thinks humans are weird.
Maybe, like, oh, this is where Jean-Luc must park the flower van. What? What is going on? There was a flower van outside the bar.
All right. That's where.
Flowers by Irene.
But, like, how could she not have known that was a simulated environment? Or, like, if she didn't know that technology was available, she should have been freaking out.
Listen, she was shocked into whatever by just being so horny. She didn't even notice. There was no logic being expended for her to like try to figure out. She just needs the D.
I think Picard missed.
How many times
the
did she
obvious-
bang Rex before she figured it out?
17.
Who's Rex?
Rex is the bartender.
Oh, yeah, a lot. I would say a lot.
A lot of scrubbing up the holodeck these 2 episodes.
No, it's like you say. It's like an oven. It has like it has a clean setting.
Just beam it all into space.
All that space junk, if you know what I mean.
That's
Get
the real.
all that junk inside them.
We did this already too, Jake.
Oh, well, I love that song.
That's actually the real reason that so many cultures want to go to war with the Federation. They keep just
because of the
plowing into
black-eyed
their
peas?
jizz at warp 9, and it's like.
I swear I had another thought, but it's gone now. It's gone forever because there's as anything with this show, you want it out of your mind immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty
Just
bad.
like water sports.
It just, like it's so weird because it's not even.
Did you just pee?
There are technically episodes that were worse because they were more actively bad, but this was just so much nothing. It just felt like such a waste of time.
It was offensively nothing.
Yeah, like
it's like, oh, they did that.
They crammed like 2.5 things together, and we're like, there.
that's an
That
episode,
looks
we guess.
Good. Like, oh, here are some fish things. Oh, Loaxana wants to fuck. Oh, holodeck. Oh, by the way, bombs. Like, it was disjointed. It didn't feel like it was the same episode. The fucking, like you said, the fucking ending with them being assassins was completely not earned, and it was so thrown away. Like, when you said in the last 30 seconds, not literally, but probably literally the last 2.5 minutes. Oh, they're gonna blow up the conference anyway. Well, glad you thought to mention it.
Yeah,
Like,
why the fuck doesn't she ever mention it? She's if they had beamed them down before her, they would have exploded everything.
Well, also, if she had beamed down with them, she would have been blown up as well.
yeah, maybe
So-
she couldn't read their minds while they were crab cakes.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know, but she was very matter of fact about it.
She was.
It wasn't like, dun dun dun.
No, it was just like, oh yeah, stupid bitch.
Also, I would have not, like, it seems to make, if she did know about that, and maybe it was just a matter of fact thing, but I would have taken Picard aside away from the terrorists and said, hey, by the way, those
They
guys.
They could have
because
blown
they could've
themselves up
blown-
right there.
Exactly,
They
I
could have
thought
blown
that
up the
too.
ship.
And not only do they not, they go peacefully. They're just like, take them to the brig, and they're like, okay, you got us.
We're fishmen. But you're assuming Loaxana knows anything about tact or subtlety.
She was married to a human for a long time.
Yeah,
Who
and
worshipped her?
then finally came to his senses and broke up with her.
And died?
For treating men
Is
like
he dead?
For treating men like shuttle.
No, he's not dead because we
Yeah,
meet him
there's some
eventually,
weird,
right?
weird shit too about like when she's having a
That heart to heart with
with Troy
Deanna.
and she's like, And Deanna's like, Mother, I can't. I'm doing I'm
you're
doing a
talking-
British accent, even though
You're
Troy's
talking
accent
about
is
the
weird.
captain as if he were a commodity.
We don't own each other anymore. Oh, honey, we're gonna have to change that.
Yeah.
When you get older, you'll come to your senses.
It's like, what? We're gonna have ownership? You want slavery? What?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she's fucked. That
It really
woman's crazy.
is just at the point now where between this and it's like I'm beginning to dread any time this woman shows up, and I know we're not done with her.
There's a few good episodes with Loxana Troy.
Really?
There's at least one.
Caitlin really liked Haven.
Is
I
she
mean,
is she knocked out in the rest of them somehow, or
They just gag her
There's a
and
pretty
leave her
good
somewhere.
DS9 episode.
probably
with
into
her.
that?
There's a
God,
pretty
she's
good
in
Loxana.
DS9.
Yeah,
Well, what
there's
was
a good-
Haven? I don't even remember what Haven was.
Her
Haven
first
was
appearance.
Wyatt.
Yeah, Wyatt Derp.
Wyatt Dirk.
See, I even kind of found Haven amusing, but like in retrospect, after this episode, it's like, oh, that episode's worse now.
Haven did the poor thing of introducing this character.
Yeah.
Because
I
now
hear
we're stuck
Haven
with
is a
her.
place on Earth.
We'll make heaven a-
Oh, Majel did get to talk to herself in this episode, which was kind of
Oh
fun.
yeah.
She talks
Oh
to
yeah,
the
the computer. I thought that was funny too.
They very briefly brought back. Well, they didn't actually show them, but they implied that she was following the like light panels.
Yeah,
which is like, oh shit, they
call back
actually
to
do
the
bring it up
pilot.
again.
And she was amazed by that as well.
Yeah.
Is she living like is Betazoid like Beta Z? Is Beta Z just like a fucking wasteland? Like why?
I think they're just too busy fucking all the time.
Yeah, Betazoids seem like they're trouble. Every time one shows up, there's always trouble.
Or in the case of Deanna, when she shows up, the
Nothing
episode sucks.
happens. Nothing happens.
Guys, I
That's why
sense
she's only
tension.
half. She's got like the boring half. Other Beta Zeds are like either crazy or sexual, but Deanna's
Or
just
crazy sexual.
or crazy sexual.
Yeah, she got the better sides of both human and Betazoid, whilst Kalar gets the worst of human and Klingon.
I don't know how she's gonna say that having a good sense of humor is a bad thing, though.
For a
Except,
Klingon, though.
Well, yeah,
if
but
you're gonna
not for
hang
a
around with
human.
other Klingons, they're gonna be like, fuck you, you're not funny. We're here about battling.
I don't know. They
Go away.
They appreciated Riker's
Here's the
humor,
thing.
didn't they?
I think our view of Klingons on the whole is largely tainted by Worf.
On
Because-
the whole, tainted.
Yeah.
Worf is just so stoic
Exactly.
Yeah, he
and
overcompensates.
serious,
Like,
whilst
if
all
you
the other
see-
ones are just violent and crazy.
See, that's the thing. Like we've only seen sociopathic, megalomaniac Klingons, but
Gorkon was alright.
yeah, Gorkon was alright. But like a lot of the time in the future, when we see Klingons, most of the time they're pretty jovial. They're usually drunk. They're always laughing. They're always singing and having wrestling matches and stuff. Like I feel like Worf is like a Christian guy that read the Bible and takes it far too literally, and just he's like the Amish of the Klingons. Is really what Worf is, right? He's
I
like,
mean-
whoa, well, I guess I gotta live a simple life now.
Well, again, I mean, as we said in the intro, like he thinks, well, we fucked, now we're married, so yeah, no, he seems pretty
Yeah.
old
You're
fashioned.
supposed to
Worf-
marry before you fuck. If you
Has
can.
Worf never had sex then? If you're supposed to marry, if you've mated?
Presumably not.
That's like, but he seems to know an awful lot about the sex. He's talked
read
about.
a lot of books.
Maybe the hologram,
Yeah.
maybe the hollow suite doesn't count.
That Skeletor guy. Whew.
Oh, gets it every time.
I was so glad
That he
when
gives good head.
I was so glad though. It's like, oh look, it's that program we've seen before, and Skeletor was back
Yay.
with his
Yes,
shitty
you
rubber
He-Man.
mask. I was so excited. I was like, all right, for that bit of continuity.
So I guess we've officially moved on to the emissary.
Yeah,
now.
Happily.
We've
Yeah.
smoothly
It was a
segued
very
right
nice
in.
segue.
I will say, I was at first a little worried for this episode because it was
Why?
like, because the setup isn't great. Because again, it's like
Oh,
Starfleet's being weird,
We're
and
not telling you what's going
here's
on.
a really needlessly complicated way to send someone to you
They
because
probably-
the
they probably
episode ran
had-
short.
Had the
Yeah.
episode.
They thought it was Okana again.
Yeah, like I was just sitting there like, oh god.
Then they'd run away.
Because I was coming fresh off a Manhunt, which was just the worst. And then it's opening in this really shifty way. I'm like, oh no. But then it gets good.
It gets pretty good.
So the explanation
Wait,
was
it
that
starts first with the poker game, though.
Oh, that's
where
true.
Pulaski was I fucking Worf.
Yes.
Like, hard.
Oh my god, yes. They
I
are
want them-
definitely...
I really want them to fuck.
Well, actually, maybe they aren't screwing now. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe handies don't count.
They had a poker game because Riker volunteered to cook again.
Oh god.
Make another omelet.
Yeah, let's just play poker.
What the hell are they playing for anyway?
Chips.
Bragging rights.
I guess so.
Handies from Pulaski.
Oh god.
So the reason she was sent in the probe was because it could travel faster than a ship.
For something, yeah, it was weird.
Was that the
It
idea?
was going warp 9, I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
But ships can go warp 9
if
too.
a ship is going
Well, that
warp
was-
9 and it shoots something, then that thing's going faster. Then-
Relativity.
Do all those rules just kind of bend to whatever the episode needs?
Yeah.
Also, warp is weird.
Yeah, I think there'd be like time dilation or something like if you're traveling at just short of the speed of light and then you throw a baseball, how fast is that baseball going? I don't think it would actually go faster than light. It would
No, it would in fact come back and smash you in the face because you can't throw as hard as light speed.
well, if you're in a vacuum and you are already going almost light speed, right?
Meaning,
There would be-
if
there
I
would-
was in a vessel that was traveling at light speed and I threw the
Well, you're
ball,
traveling at like
99.9,
0.00, 0.99999, right? Just shy. And then, so you're traveling and you're in a vacuum.
Well, no, if I'm in a vacuum, the ball is only going as fast as I can throw it.
Well, no, it's going as fast as you can throw it relative to you, but you're already going the speed of light. So the ball would be going almost the speed of light plus however fast you threw it, which if it would have exceeded the speed of light, what happens? I don't know.
I think the universe ends.
I think relativity
The ball
tells
touches
us. I don't.
touch balls?
Someone who's a
Touch
physicist
balls.
can tell us what happens in that scenario.
Oh, guys, Stephen Hawking died.
That's true. He did die.
It's a while ago
It
now,
was a few
but-
weeks, but 'tis a shame.
Because he definitely would know the answer to this question.
Future guest star.
On this
Stephen
podcast?
Hawking?
I wish.
No, on Star Trek.
So we plan to be doing this after death then.
Yes.
No, yeah, he's an episode of TNG.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, so stupid plan aside, and
Oh, yeah.
the fact that
Dumb.
the admiral
Padding plan.
was missing his comm badge. Good everything else. Good character
Pretty good.
piece.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
mostly
I
what it
liked-
is.
I liked Susie Plaxton well enough, even though I didn't care for Salar.
I think
Apparently, Tracy Torme had wanted Salar and Worf to have a romance, so I guess this is kind of like the next best
I
thing.
suppose so.
Vulcan Pinch is probably pretty hot if you're Klingon.
Oh, I bet.
People think it only works on the neck.
Yeah, that does answer our question though. Because remember at the time we were like, what if she just can't do Vulcan, or she's a bad actor? She just can't do Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, though, it's a very fine line between being a bad actor and acting like you don't have feels.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I think there's very few people. I think I've probably said this before, but I think there's very few actors that can pull off Vulcan correctly.
Yeah,
no,
they're both dead. It was
Yeah,
Mark Leonard and it was Leonard Nimoy.
like too many either go too stiff or some let too much emotion in.
Yeah.
And it's like either way, you're like, wait a minute.
I think Zachary Quinto could do it if he had better writing. behind
Zachary
him.
Quinto Beans.
If they didn't write him to not be Vulcan, he could probably play a Vulcan.
That's true, because he's definitely not. Yeah. I think he could. I like Zachary Quinto.
Anyway, Spock isn't in this.
No.
Nor are any Vulcans.
No,
so.
not a one.
Nor even Zach Quinto.
It's interesting though, because
But Oswald from the Drew Carey show was
He
in
was,
it.
I
yes,
noticed that.
Diedrich Bader.
He was almost cute. It's weird.
It was funny
That's kinda cute.
when I was watching the
Yeah, he's not
episode.
for me.
He I hadn't really noticed it was him, and then he said something, and I was like, whoa, back the fuck up. And yeah, Diedrich Bader. His one Star Trek appearance, according to the internet. This was very much a character piece. Like, I think the last one wanted to be a character piece, but failed miserably because everything about it was so bad.
Yeah, because you can't just have a character piece. There also has to be like a reason for it to exist.
Yeah,
this the
like
Black
this
Cat?
one.
It is the Black Cat.
He just let me rub his belly. And he didn't kill me. And he's also not trying to kill Chris yet.
Like, this one succeeded.
Oh, but he's thinking about it.
This one succeeded, and I know it did, because it didn't even occur to me till, well after I'd watched it. Like, wait a minute. They never told us what those Klingons had been doing on a sleeper ship, but I didn't care. If it had been a bad episode, I would have cared.
Mm.
You know, when you actually think about it, what the fuck reason could the Klingons possibly have to have a sleeper ship?
It would have been really awesome if they actually were just there for scientific reasons.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Because I kind of kept waiting for the fact that Kalar was super close-minded to be more of the point, because she was so that was her thing from the beginning. It was her thing on the holodeck. It's why she broke the shit out of that table. like, well, also Worf, but like, you know what I mean? She gets all worked up. And actually, I thought they were going to do the business right then and there, because I thought she was just trying to get him worked up so he'd, like, take her roughly.
Yeah, K'Ehleyr's interesting as a character, just because, you know, she's the Klingon envoy emissary, but she clearly has a disdain for Klingons.
Yeah, she's very self-hating.
I think it's because she lives in that world where she doesn't belong to either side. She's neither human nor Klingon. She doesn't get along with either of them particularly well because she's got the human sense of humor and the Klingon temper.
Well, and also, as we know, men don't find a sense of humor in a woman nice because they want to be the funny ones.
Well, and even though they've been at peace for a while, there's people who, you know, give Klingons the side eye, even in the 24th century. And that's
their last remaining human bias is appearance.
Yeah. But, like, I felt like it was a bit like, oh, Deanna's trying to, oh, yeah, no, we're both sort of torn between worlds. And it's like, yeah, but Deanna, if you really need to, you look exactly like a human. So while you have some experience that's similar, because, yeah, you are torn between cultures, you can hide in a way she can't.
Well, and also, though, it's like, she's like, her mom is like a queen or something. Like,
she's some
holder of
the heir of
cup of balls.
The cupping of balls, yeah. But like
the
she's she's an
dungeon.
emissary. She's got some kind of status. So like Troy wasn't growing up like normal. She was growing up like learning how to play the sitar. And also some shit that they have on Betazoid.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the thing about Troy being able to hide it. Troy can't hide walking into a room and being like, I sense tension, because she would not be able to stop herself from saying that.
I sense boners.
I do like, though, that scene where the show kind of does even make fun of her, where she's like...
as she walks in,
she's like...
K'Ehleyr has just broken the table.
You're upset. And K'Ehleyr's like, oh, did you finally hone Beta Z senses tell you that? Well, that and the broken table.
Nice.
Well, what I loved about that was as soon as she walked, like right before she walked in, or before she delivered that line, I was like, I sense you're upset. I feel like I called a lot of her lines, actually, in this episode. There was a lot of that. I was like, Troy, I could write you.
Yeah, Troy's good at her job. So K'Ehleyr, very, very, and like a good character, like a well-written character, a bit perplexing at times. I feel like, interestingly enough, the character of K'Ehleyr, I mean, she's clearly the prototype for what will eventually become B'Elanna Torres on Voyager, another half Klingon, half human.
Everyone's a fucking hybrid in Starfleet.
Who is like trapped between worlds and has the Klingon temper, but the human.
I feel like though, and I mean this is very fuzzy because I haven't seen Voyager in a while, but I feel like K'Ehleyr enjoys herself more. B'Elanna just always seems grumpy.
Yeah, she is.
She's a bit more Klingon in that way, whereas K'Ehleyr, personality-wise, is a bit more human.
Yeah, but
yes, you're right. There's inevitably...
So did I miss anything, or did it explain how she knows Worf? We know that they had some sort of fling 6 years ago.
I don't think they got into it.
No, I think they just knew each other.
He was probably in the academy. She was probably...
They met on K-Date.
Oh my god!
It's the dating website for Klingons on Earth, and there's 2 members.
There's 2 members, all right.
But are there
2
vaginas?
There better be.
Well, if not,
one in the one and one in the 2.
And even if a full Klingon woman has both, would a half? Anyway,
here's a question. Why doesn't Worf have a K name? Like almost all other Klingons, except I think for Mara from TOS, name starts with a K.
Mightn't Worf be his last name? Do Klingons have last names?
No, because Klingons have like a patrilineal name structure. So like his last name is Son of Moog.
Yeah, although he is descended from Colonel Worf.
Norwegian. Actually, I don't know if... Yeah, I think Nordic cultures generally do that.
Do they still do that, or is that just why a lot of them are?
I don't know. I've known people, Icelandic people, who do that.
Okay.
So you know Half-Thor's daughter.
I do.
Which is a cool name.
Yes, that is a good name.
Yeah.
We'll see Gowron eventually. That's a G.
Yeah,
but we haven't met any yet.
True.
That's true. Yeah,
and
no,
even
they
Gowron,
definitely...
even like what's his name, Gorkon and Chang are in 6, which hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just ran out of K names. And then same thing with
Spock.
Vulcans, and like they ran out of
Spook names.
Yeah, well, they ran out of S names, and then
The women started having T apostrophe for a while, and then Valeris comes along in a year or two.
Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. I would assume that like the apostrophes are to denote a stop, you know.
Yeah.
K-Lar.
That is probably how Klingon would pronounce it, yeah. They don't bother correcting the humans.
What was it?
Because they keep fucking it up.
Tukuvma.
Yeah.
Tukuvma.
Yeah.
Why didn't whoever did Klar's costuming do Troy's? Because Troy is a gorgeous woman, and she's got a frumpy looking ass in those jumpsuits.
That's just an 80s ass. That's just a typical standard 80s ass.
Well, it's bad. Whatever they did for Klar was way better.
Well,
and they should be doing that shit for Troy because she deserves the best.
This is true, but I think I don't think Troy liked. I don't think
No,
the actress
hated
did
her
not
costumes.
like her costumes.
Of course
Rightly
she didn't,
so.
because she looked awful.
And I feel like
don't give
Kalar's was
support to
even
the
more
rump.
form fitting. Like Kalar's costume, in addition to being the prototype for
The red one or the other one?
the red
The red
one
one.
for
Mhm.
Bailana.
Hot costume.
Her costume was clearly the prototype for Seven of
I
Nine's
was gonna say
costume.
7 of 9. Not quite, because you could fucking read 7 of 9's lips and that shit they put her in.
Oh,
true.
you
Wow.
put a nickel in those pants so you can read the date on it.
I distinctly remember, like, Jake showing me a promotional image of 7 of 9 and being like, she has so much camel toe I can see, like, each labia majora. Like, this is not correct.
Yeah, it's a terrible outfit. I wasn't...
Not if you like pussy.
Listen, if you're gonna be a Mary Sue, you might as well dress the part.
I wasn't super keen on the outfit as a whole, but I did love the little jacket.
I thought she looked
Kalar's?
I loved her fucking 80s workout.
Oh no,
space
with the
gear,
spiky shoulder
with the
pad.
fucking pink leopard print or whatever it was.
What did you
zebra?
What did you think of the hand breaking ritual?
Oh, the skin
Pushing
Yeah.
her, yeah.
Well, I thought it was hot as hell, but you probably shouldn't ask me.
I mean, that's just a thing, right?
I think the director came up with it on the spot or something.
Oh, wow.
Just
And,
do
and,
something.
and that was her actual blood.
Yes, the actress broke
Yeah,
her
I mean,
hand and they had to work it in.
I don't think the director would have come up with that on the spot unless they already had the fake blood available.
I
Not on the
imagine-
spot, but when they were working the episode.
And I also
don't think
feel like...
he didn't actually break her hand, just made her cut her
He
skin.
just like dug her nails into her palm.
Yeah, her nails were breaking her skin, but not her actual bones, I don't think.
I do feel like, though, getting us some fake blood packs to have the actress squeeze wouldn't be too hard to come
That's
up with on
probably
a,
true.
a studio set. So we've compared Kalar a lot to Deanna and this and that. What I will say is, again,
And to Bellon.
Deanna and this woman had some really good chemistry. I feel like Marina Sirtis ends up having a lot of good chemistry with guest stars. Because her and Wyatt had good chemistry. Her and what was the ambassador with the chorus?
Oh, yeah.
They had a really good thing going on.
Oh, they should have fucked.
Like-
I mean, they did. But she should have definitely fucked Kalar.
But like it's just funny. It's like, goddamn, like all these people that probably should have hung around more because they worked way better than her and fucking Riker ever did.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting, right? Because this episode, I think we all agree this was a superior episode to the first one.
Oh Christ, yes.
Yes, leaps and bounds.
But
Warp 9.
like a lot less happens in this episode. I feel like it's more like this is a much more straightforward plot.
It's also a thinky one where you kind of think like, there's a Klingon ship that's going to come out of cryo. What are they going to do? That's kind of your motive instead of Majel Barrett's on set. We got to find something for her to do.
I mean, honestly,
Well,
I
but
couldn't
also-
have cared less. I just wanted to see who was actually going to fuck Kalar.
Yeah, but also like the
Geordi.
the Klingon plot, the Klingon ship plot. I mean, it's almost as bad from a writing and development perspective as the Fishmen because
Bad? I don't think it was
no,
bad.
because here's the thing, right? They spend this whole episode going through just arguing Kalar. It can't be done. We have to blow them up. Picard, no, we'll find a way. We have to find a way, and then only to be solved at the very last minute
By Worf.
by Worf.
Like, no one else could have come up with that?
Pulling it out of his ass.
Yeah. He's like, wait a minute. I still have my Commander Krug Halloween costume in my quarters. Because that totally was just Christopher Lloyd's costume from 3.
It had to be.
Even the friggin' like traveling cloak he wears on Genesis.
Yeah, I think if not the whole costume, at least that part.
I'm pretty sure even like
I don't think
anything
from Christopher Lloyd's costume rack could fit Michael Dorn.
That's a good point.
Michael Dorn's a much bigger guy, but I think I don't know. I would guess at the cloak at least.
The cloak's definitely.
It was like a
Lloyd's.
Johnny. It didn't actually close in the back.
That's why I went cloak. But it could be like Christopher Lloyd's cloak, but then like who knows? Maybe it was Moltz's. It was definitely a Star Trek 3 costume. I know that much.
Well, they were all Star Trek 3 Klingons.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it would have been like retrofitted.
Well, and of course, Star Trek 3 costumes, and yet again, there's that fucking the motion picture stock footage. You know, this time they added phasers to it. Someday they will make some new Klingon footage for this fucking show.
Why fix what's not broken?
Well,
you know?
I mean, they have. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's fine because they were also showing a ship that needs to be very old.
That's true.
Yeah,
In this case, it's a little less.
Like
of a
they
cheat.
could have used a bird of prey, but that. I mean, I guess even because Krug would have happened by the time these guys left, right?
Oh yeah.
So they had birds of prey. It's interesting that they chose to go with the D7 or whatever.
Yeah.
Going
Well,
D, all right.
D2, if you know what I mean.
but
I don't. Could you clarify?
2 Ds.
Oh, thank you.
So my note, which I have a note here that clearly started off as a joke from the holodeck scene. So this is how most Klingon porn starts, right? Next note. Oh.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I liked the hand smelling they were doing. I'm assuming that's like a pheromone thing.
Probably.
And
I
like,
wanted to bite it.
yeah,
I was waiting for that to happen, yeah.
I thought that was going to happen also. Yeah, I just really, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked the high sexual tension of this episode that the
There was
last
so
episode
much.
didn't have.
At all.
Somehow didn't have.
Any.
Despite those dresses.
Yeah.
Oh, but sorry, Jake, we got a little off your point. But yeah, it's like I kind of said earlier, like, it both want to be character pieces, which makes the sort of main thrust technically not really the point. But because this one was a successful character piece, it's easier to kind of go,
Yeah,
Plus
they
they
have
at
to
least-
succeed somewhere, right? And
They-
the last episode failed in every way.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Plus, the Klingon thing at least was threaded throughout.
true.
And even if it was just sort of incidental, it's better than the fishmen who were there the whole time and there's out of nowhere, oh, they're evil. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Not necessarily evil. There could have been a good reason for it.
All right, they're assassins. Ugh.
They're the heroes in their own story, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
But like this, at least, you know, it doesn't.
I think the plot of the Emissary made a lot of sense. Just even if they're just using it as a a Worf and Kalar story.
Yeah, but it was again.
It wasn't
threaded.
only a Worf and Kalar story. It was a Worf and Kalar story with a background.
Yeah.
That's true. And they did spend a lot of time in that lab area doing whatever.
Yeah.
That in the end made no difference.
Yeah.
And didn't Data wind up helping with this one as well? Because he was the
He
cock,
was the
he was the
android
cock
chauffeur?
block in yeah. He's been the chauffeur in both episodes. Holy shit!
You mean chaperone?
What
Oh, chaperone is correct. That's true.
what
Yeah.
did you say?
I said
What the-
chauffeur.
Oh yeah. I agreed with you too. I was like, yeah, he was driving everybody around. Crazy.
Beep beep.
He drove that flower van right over there. That's why he had to go get dressed.
But like, yeah, no. So
I need
like,
5 minutes to drive a flower van for a striker. Hold.
Oh god, that was maybe the one highlight in that episode. Data was so excited to put on an old suit again. He's like, wait.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
that's
back to
true.
the episode.
that and the brown star. So you got to tell him about brown stars.
That's right.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny that like Data keeps being the go-to cock blocker.
Yeah.
Well, because that's his perfect job, right?
Yeah.
Like
I know,
Especially
but you
because
feel
he's-
bad for him because he doesn't understand.
Yeah,
or
no,
I
he's
feel
so
bad for him because
unwitting.
he doesn't understand. Like,
Oh, he understands cock.
no, I mean I know that, but he doesn't understand.
people
Why?
aren't
That
actually
he's
interested in
being
his
used.
company.
Yeah, it's like the audience that laughs at his bad fucking jokes.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like it's necessary when you talk about that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
you
to
have
do the arm
that. You
gesture.
got to do it.
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
do it as well as he does, but
No, he was great.
he was perfect. Can we just talk about Data for the rest of the episode?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
barely in this one.
I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously, she should have got some dick from him. He wouldn't try to marry her. Well, I don't know, actually. He's still...
He's still got one for Tasha Yar, though.
Geordie does briefly show up in the Emissary.
That's true, to be like, oh yeah, these old cloaks had this exploit.
Yeah.
Something about gamma waves or something.
I wonder what. I wonder if LeVar was busy or they just didn't have anything for him to do.
Yeah.
When did Reading Rainbow start?
think they overlapped a little, didn't they?
Probably.
Maybe he had some. Maybe he had
They
some
definitely
taping
overlap
dates
because
for-
there was an episode of Reading Rainbow where he did a tour of the set
Oh,
of
cool.
TNG. Which is cool.
We should watch
Oh,
that.
we
That's
should
a good
watch
10
that.
forward.
Yeah.
I
Is
like
it a
reading
good 10
Rainbow.
forward?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, it was a good tour. Yep, episode over.
Whatever. We can discuss whatever book he reads.
We could do a 10
Fucking
forward on
Klingons.
various behind the scenes
Oh, there we go.
material. That would be fun.
I think we would just end up recounting what happened in the episode, and it wouldn't be interesting. And then you'd make a brown eye joke, and then we'd close the show.
That's true.
You're right. It's perfect. It's basically what we do every week.
I found the equation.
That's what we do every week, Pinky.
So, at the end, Chief O'Brien leaves Worf to beam her out, and I just want his last line. Oh, sorry, before I go, could you just clean up when you leave? Thanks.
Or beam it into space.
That's true. It's on the transporter pad.
Beam it into the sun. It's the only way to be sure.
They send Kalar to the Klingon ship to clean them up and tell them how
Get
the
them
future
ready,
works.
yeah.
She's a half Klingon, half human who already has said like her human aspect makes Klingons not like her very much.
She's gonna die.
They're gonna
to be
murder the
honest.
crap out of her.
Yeah, she's dead. That's sad.
Well, she comes back.
Well, I
She's
know,
in
but
another
it feels
episode.
like they were basically. I was just thinking that they're
Bad
sending her
idea.
to like.
I'm sure
certain
they'll
death.
Send data.
She'll
I'm
manage
sure
to
she's
blend in.
fine. Yeah, I'm sure she takes Klingons off guard. I would like sort of like what she does with Worf. Like they probably just don't know how to deal with her.
No, these Klingons do know how to deal with her. They're gonna
Bang, bang.
fucking fire her out of the fucking.
Airlock?
Fuck.
Airlock?
No, the
Torpedo tube?
You know.
Yeah,
Flush
the
her down
toilet.
the
No,
toilet?
hold on. Shh. They have phasers, and then they have the other thing.
Torpedoes.
It's actually just torpedoes.
Yeah, photon torpedoes.
Photon. That's what I was trying to think of. Guys, the words are not coming to me.
They eventually have quantum torpedoes.
Oh, they should do
Ooh,
that.
so many torpedoes.
Shoot her out of a torpedo bag. What is happening?
So many things. I had a question about the timeline with the whole Kalar thing. When did Klingons and the Federation ally up? Because if she's half and half, then it's got to be at least earlier than her birth.
Well, after that's true. I mean, I guess. Well, here's the thing about Klingons as well. We don't know how old she is because they age to maturity very fast.
Oh, do they? They're not like Vulcans who go slower?
I don't know.
Or Vulcans live long.
Vulcans
Very
live
Actually,
long
so
and
prosper.
prosper.
Klingons are very long-lived too, though.
Yeah, they are.
But you're saying that
Because
they
Kang
reach
and
adulthood
Kor and Kodos
quicker,
are all still around by DS9.
right? So, like, what you're saying is, if like
Not Kodos.
They make
Kodos is a totally different guy.
Yeah.
Koloth.
Call it.
I can't wait for him to come back. I'm so excited. But so, like, when you say mature quickly, so it's like in 5 years they look 20 and human, but they're still 5? Is that what you mean? Like that?
Well, yeah, so there's a character, I won't spoil it, but there is a character who we see in TNG as a young child, no older than 5, and then in DS9 he comes back and is
a full-grown adult.
a full-grown adult.
Is he hot?
No, he's kind of a pissant.
He'd still be hot.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, and they should only be probably 6 years apart at most between the times.
Yeah,
he's
they-
Oh, I see. What
at
you're
his
going
youngest
for.
and his oldest, but they've obviously replaced the actor, and the older actor is much older than the younger actor.
Yeah. I mean, the other problem is there's just so much at this point that hasn't been established, because of course Star Trek 6 hasn't even come out. So right now it's
We don't know
really...
they bleed purple yet.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
When she cut her hand, it was red.
Yeah, half
Maybe
human.
hand blood is red.
Half human.
But yeah, no, it's like, I think it'll eventually end up being the case that they will have been allies for several decades at this point. Like, stuff starts to kind of get a bit better after 6.
Yeah, 6 is like detente.
Yeah, but then when we get to yesterday's Enterprise, that firms up some dates.
Yeah, but we know that it's always kind of a shaky
Yeah.
relationship no matter what.
Yeah.
And they're still not. I still cringe at the term allies.
Yeah,
because they're really not. I mean, they're
that eventually goes
They
away.
have an uneasy peace.
Yeah, there's an
Easy
understanding.
enough that they've handed Worf off to some humans.
Well,
to
no,
raise him.
it was because humans
Rescued him.
Rescued him.
Okay, I don't know the backstory
Yeah,
yet. So.
in short, the backstory is he was a child at a Klingon colony. That
Kittimer?
Khitomer, which was attacked, presumably the same
Khitomer,
Khitomer that's in Star Trek 6, that's attacked by Romulans, and the Federation...
They're back.
The Federation rescues the Klingon survivors, and Worf is among them and is raised by humans.
But if there are other survivors, why wouldn't
I don't think there was only one survivor of record. I don't want to spoil things.
When do we learn this? How soon?
In the next couple of seasons.
Right,
It's a storyline that reveals itself kind of over time.
No, don't spoil it.
All right.
I'll wait. I can be patient.
I feel like the biggest drop on that is like between season 4 and 5 of TNG, I think.
Worf is his own grandpa.
That's true.
Just like Fry.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all we have to say about these 2 episodes. I think we all agree we had one stinker.
Oh, goodness, yes.
And one okay. Pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
Smells all right.
Smells all right.
Well, not like lilac,
not
but
a
like
fine Klingon musk.
Sort of cinnamony like Jake's balls.
Fine
Yeah.
Klingon wrist musk. Well, anyway, so we're going to wrap this one up. Next time on A Star to Steer Her By, we're going to be we're going to be closing out Season 2.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, Season 3 is, I think, traditionally, a lot of fans agree that Season 3 is sort of where the show starts to become more consistent.
Certainly we get better uniforms.
We get better uniforms. There's some really good stuff in Season 3. Season 3 ends fantastically, and...
Season 3. Sorry, I thought you were saying Season 2.
Well, Season 2 also ends fantastically. And how does it end, you ask? Let me tell you. The final 2 episodes of Season 2 that we'll be discussing next week are Peak Performance War Games. Last time we played War Games on Star Trek, remember the
ultimate computer.
The ultimate computer, the M5 or whatever it was. Was that the M5?
Yeah.
The M5, Daystrom, he freaked out. So War Games, they always go well. We'll see what happens next
Destroyed
time.
at least one of their 12 Constitution-class starships.
Yep. And then the final episode.
Jake's favorite.
The famous, the infamous.
The long-anticipated Shades o' Grey. Shades of Grey. Hot.
Are there 50 of them?
There's at least. We'll discuss how many Shades of Grey next week on A Star to Steer Her By. Until then, be sure to find us online at facebook.com. Are we still on Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook's still around.
Are they still around? Are
So
they going to
far.
still be around by the time this episode is released?
We got all our info already. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's going up this week, so...
Oh, all right. So presumably Mark Zuckerberg... There's been a lot of Mark Zuckerberg
As data memes?
memes.
Oh my God, too many.
Those
Yes.
are doing pretty good. The meme markets are flutter with...
Data is infinitely more sexy, though.
Yeah, but...
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I do love the not just the data memes, but the Mark Zuckerberg robot joke. So anyway, yes, we will be talking about those episodes. What am I fucking losing my train of thought here?
We're on Facebook.
Oh, we're on Facebook. Yeah, so find us on Facebook while it's still there. If you're still there, if you are, you're a sucker.
Berg.
But if not, if you're not on Facebook, like a sane person, you can find us on... Really, you shouldn't be on any social network, but whatever, man. Find us on Twitter. We're named there SSHB Podcast. And also on Tumblr, SSHB Podcast there as well, I think. Yes.
How many times have you done this outro now, Jake?
Of course, you can always listen to our podcast at SoundCloud, and just search for Star to Steer Her By, a podcast. You can also find us on Apple and iTunes and Google Tunes.
Possibly the same thing.
Google iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
Google Tunes.
Google.
I wonder. Hold on a second. I want to try this out. Hang on. Okay, Google. A Star to Steer Her By podcast.
Here's what I found.
Yeah, there you go.
She found us?
She found us. It comes up with our SoundCloud and our, I don't know, and then some other shit that's irrelevant. But yeah, the first listing for I Started Steer Her By podcast, as Google interpreted that I said, is our SoundCloud. So that's cool.
We're so famous, even Google misinterpretation finds us.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. So yeah, definitely do all that. I think we also have other things. Whatever. Just you're listening to us now. If you want to continue listening to us, go to the same place you found us to listen to us this time. And also, tell your friends about us so that they will listen as well. You can tell them about such classic jokes as brown eye, and fisting, and
Poop in the butt.
poop in the butt, poop in the butt. Yeah. And also sometimes we discuss Star Trek stuff.
Apparently this is our clip show.
We should do a clip show because we have so much.
Wrap it
I
all
would
up.
love for
All right,
us
I'm
to
going to
do
wrap
that.
it up. I'm wrapping up now. So anyway, that's all the stuff. That's the normal coterie of announcements. So, without further ado, my name is Jake.
This has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
And this is always Caitlin.
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Good night.
Jesus Christ.
Good night, Seattle.